So hi guys, good evening all of you. So guys, I'm audible. Okay, right. So in the last week, we started DBMS and we discussed guys in the last week. What is database and yeah, database types we discussed in the last week. Okay, now right. So here, what is a database means? We said it's a collection of interrelated data or information. We said, and what is interrelated? We discussed, and later data types are there are two types of data types we called. Okay, so OLTP, online transaction processing data types, and OLAP data types are there, online analytical processing. Okay, so for what purpose OLTP and OLAP? Okay, we use means. So here we given here OLTP, online transaction processing, sir. We are using to store day-to-day transactional data or information. Okay, for a particular business. Okay, no? So and on this database we can perform the live transactions like insert, update, delete, and select. Also we can go to perform here. And these softwares which was comes under OLTP databases we called. Okay, and for example, we discuss in the guys banking sectors, ex-customer, he was doing some transactions, yes or no, and whatever the transactions he did, so these transactions are going to be stored under OLTP databases. Okay, and this is what day-wise transactions we can store. But what about OLAP? So online analytical processings. Okay, so in this, what it was happened to store historical data or information. Okay, or data analysis purpose or data summarizing purpose, we are using OLAP databases. And example data warehouses we call. Okay, and your historical data is nothing but what now. For example, X is a customer, so he was using some account like 7 or 10 years onwards. He was using, and in the 7 years of transactions data, we can store means that was possible under OLAP databases. Okay, so this is what we discussed, and I was given some examples like so ATM mission and banking sectors. So, okay, so through this ATM mission, when you want to take the transactional information, the last and current, okay, last 5 to 10 transactions only we can fetching our ATM mission. And if you want it like 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years of statements, then we are going to be interacting to banking people, and those people will give it the 1 to 3 years of statements. Okay, now, so that what we said, the one difference. And in the same pattern, we are going to discuss like OLTP, OLFE, like I just given a normal simple example like Bajaj Electronic showrooms and godowns. So nowadays showrooms are there and godowns are there. Okay, so in these two godowns and showrooms, so showrooms are just for showing some information. That means the few products it will be showing, and it was okay, kept into the showcases purpose, it will be kept here, and few products are available in the showrooms. But whenever they want to deliver the products, we are going to go downs. So go down means what now? It's a bulk, the bulk of products. It's a bulk products are having in the godowns. So like this, godown is nothing but OLAP, and showroom is nothing but OLTP. Okay, that example also we discuss. So now later, if I want to go for guys here, okay, these two databases, how the people will be in the organization, how the people will be using these two databases means. So okay, I'm giving one small diagrammatical explanation. So we will discuss on the diagrammatical explanation here. So just observe this diagram, guys, here. So when you see the diagram, okay, can you see the diagram? Okay. So in this diagram, if you want to identify here, so these are the some apps, that means applications. So through these applications and through these apps, okay, so the users Okay, they're going to be performing some transactions. So your transactions are nothing but what we call as, guys, your operations. For example, maybe this app is a one IRCTC app, okay, or a Flipkart or Amazon. So any kind of one online application. It is called as an online application. And through these online applications, whenever user is performing some operations, okay, now, so those every day-to-day transactional data, okay, that any app, it may be any one app. So, okay, suppose user is performing. So user is performing some operations, okay, through this any one app. Okay, so every app through whatever the operations we perform, and every operation and operational transactions and transactional data. So first we are directly storing under OLTP. We are storing here. We are storing under OLTP. That means databases. It means that like OLTP means the database. It may be SQL Server, it may be Oracle, it may be MySQL, yes or no. So this kind of things they are using in this, the which was the application through whatever the user is performing some transactions, and those transactions data, it will be storing under OLTP databases. Okay, so this database will be storing day-to-day transactions. Okay, for example, suppose here day-to-day transactions data we are storing, okay, into this database. Okay, now for example, the database, that means OLTP database, just logically think it's a capacity of gigabytes of capacity, for example. Okay, the bytes are gigabytes of memory. For example, I'm telling just your understanding purpose. So OLTP databases storage capacity, if you think gigabytes here. Okay, now, so gigabytes, if you think, then what it was happening, guys, here. So whenever user is performing some, okay, user is performing operation through an application, that every transaction data we are storing into here. So now think that, so this GB of memory is full, guys. This GB of memory full. That means your database, whatever the database memory GBs are there. Okay, these GB of memory full, for example. Okay, just logically think. After full this, then again this transactions will not stop now, because 24 into 7, 24 into 7, the transactions are going on. Okay, now, but at the certain period of time, your OLTP database memory will be full. So then what it will be happening, sir? Okay, now, so my point, careful observe, guys, here. Once OLTP databases memories are full, then what it was happening, because these are the online transactions. Online transactions means what now? 24 into 7. Okay, they can perform, they can use it. Okay, but a certain period of time, either 1 day or 2 days or 1 week, the OLTP database memory will be full. So when it was full, then what it was happening, guys, here, immediately they're using some ETL tools here. That means that communicated to OLTP to OLAP. These two communications is going to happen with the help of ETL tools are there. So with the help of ETL tools, they are integrated with your databases to data warehouses. Okay, integrated databases to data warehouses, they are integrated now. Okay, now they are integrated. That is called as a OLAP. Okay, now. So now what happened, this data, how they're going to transfer here by using of some ETL tools, like Informatica tool, like SSIS tool, SQL Server integrations tools. Okay, so some tools are there. With the help of those tools, they can go to transfer or move it, their data from OLTP databases to OLAP. Okay, so your ETL stands for extracted, transfer, loading into data warehouses. Okay, that is called ETL, stands for extract, transfer, and loading. Okay, now, so with the help of Informatica tool, with the help of SSIS tool, with the help of integration services tools, Okay, they are going to be integrated these two databases together and transferring the data from OLTP to OLAP. But how they're transferring this data means it's a depending on organization, it's a depending on company, it's a depending on business. That means in your business, how much data will be produced, how much data will producing from your business. Okay, suppose you have a small scale business, then per day, small scale business per day, how much data will be producing? For example, there is a 500 MB data is producing for a small business. Okay, in 24 hours, okay, how much data is producing from my business means 500 MB data producing from my business. Suppose one more business is there, the middle scale businesses, they are going to be generating like a 750 MB data per day from their business data generated. So that means data, how it was producing means by whatever the transactions are doing by users through an applications. Okay, so through that applications, whatever you did transactions, through the transactionals, your data will be generated. Okay, so it means that, for example, your organization is going to big organization, then use amount of data generating by 24 hours. Suppose small scale industries, okay, the mid of industries and the large scale industry. That means the data generating is also depends on our business. It's a very important point. Remember, guys. So some business are very less per day. Per day, maybe there is a 50 MB data producing per day. So like 100, 500, 1 GB like this. Okay, now. So that means it's a depending on your business. Your business is a widely, are you spreading your business or small business, whatever it is. So based on that, the data will be produced. Okay, fine. Either 500 MB or 1 GB or 2 GB, whatever, etc. Okay, now. So now, for example, some business through some data producing, and that will be storing here. After storing the business year, okay, after storing that business year, so what I'm saying here, suppose this data is full, then based on the companies, based on their business, they will be, how they will be transferring the data means they're transferring the data into hourly wise. The data transferring into hourly wise into data warehouses. Some companies, depending on their business data, they are transferring the data, okay, day wise. That means per a day wise, daily wise, the data transformations are happening. For some organizations, for their business, okay, they are going to be transferring the data. They're going to be transferring the data monthly wise. Okay, so otherwise weekly wise also we can say weekly wise. Okay, now they're going to be transferring the data. So some companies are there, as per their business, they will transfer the data from OLTP to OLAP monthly wise. Okay, as per their business, okay, monthly. Later it was they happen here quarterly wise. So quarterly wise they can transfer. So they can transfer, okay, half-yearly wise. They can transfer half-yearly wise. Okay, and suppose you have a very big business, okay, sorry, very small business. Okay, guys, 1 second. What I'm saying here. Okay, so now what I said, hourly basis. So hourly wise they can transfer. They can transfer daily wise, day wise. They can transfer weekly wise. Okay, they can transfer here quarterly wise, sorry, monthly wise. Okay, now then after that they're transferring the data into quarterly wise. They're transferring the data into half-yearly wise. Okay, they transfer the data into yearly wise. Okay, so like this, the data can be moving from OLTP to OLAP. Okay, now from OLTP to OLAP. So that I'm saying that. So how they will be set their timings? So I said here hourly. That means every hour the data moving into OLAP. For every day wise, they can move it. Weekly wise, they can move. Monthly wise, they can move. Quarterly wise, they can move. Offerly wise, they can move. And yearly wise, they can move. So now what happened? Whenever the data will be moving into data warehouse, so here automatically memory space will be there here. Yes, spaces are available. Again, the transactional data will go to here only. The transaction data here only will be. Again, this will be, so whatever I said, that operations based on the industry, based on the organization, they will be moving this. So like this, they will be managed. Okay, like this, they will be managed their business related data. Okay, from OLTP to OLAP database. Okay, now they can manage from OLTP to OLAP. Understand now? For example, here somebody is asking, okay, sir, when our OLTP databases are full, then this fulling data we are transferring to OLAP by whatever I said, by hourly wise, whatever, by daily wise, by weekly wise, okay, now otherwise by monthly wise, by quarterly wise, okay, by offerly wise, okay, by offerly wise, and next yearly wise. Okay, sir, that we can, okay. And suppose, okay, this is, we said approximately, otherwise logically we think this is a GBs for this memory GB, so that will, when it is full, we transfer. So, but OLAP, okay, this is also like, for example, this capacity, for example, petabytes of capacity here. Okay, so not gigabytes, it's a petabytes of memory, for example. Then what happened? Petabytes of memory was full here. That means your OLAP also full here. When your OLAP also full, then again, how I can store the remaining data means, so because when OLTP is full, then the data transferring into OLAP. So again, here memories are available. Here memories are available. But your OLAP, once it is full, then what it was happened? So OLAP, so storage capacity, for example, petabytes of memory. So this petabytes of memory is also full. Then what it was happening, sir, means here nothing was happened. The people will take a second OLAP. They will be taking second OLAP. Okay, now? So they are using one more OLAP. Okay, now? So again, the data, they will be integrated with the second OLAP. The data again here transferred by using of ETL tools. By using of ETL tools. Okay, now suppose this is also full, then they will take it here one more OLAP. One more OLAP they will take. And now they are integrated with this, okay, by using of ETL tool, and they can move it the data into another OLAP. So like this, they will be maintained and manage these two databases in their real-time organizations. Okay, so that means here, this, how we can go to use this means it's depending on your business, and from your business, how much data is producing, how much data is generated. Okay, now, so based on that, okay, the data management will be done by your organizations in real-time companies. Okay, now, so in this way, the data will be managed here by using TP and AP. Okay, but here one more very, very important point. What I said here, whenever you want to, that means here the point is, whatever the user is going to be performing the operations through an application, so that applicational data is directly come to OLTP. But here very important point is what now? It's one more point here. This data, that means this application data we can't directly store into OLAP. Okay, so this is not happening here. This is not happening here. So app one, that means whatever the application through the user is performing some operation, that operational data I can't directly, okay, store into AP. So that's why the data will be first come to TP only, and from there it will be transferring to AP. Understand now? So this is what the use of these two databases in our real-time organizations. Okay, now, so are you clear this point or having any doubt in this? Okay, come on guys, sir. Are you clear or having in this explanation? If you have any doubt, you can ask me by using your chat box. If anybody have any doubts. Okay, first I will give chat box option. So you can ask me if you're having any doubt. ETL tool. The use of ETL tool, here I said extracted data from OLTP, transfer and loading into OLAP. That is called the ETL. Okay, Pawan? It's like a middleware, taking data from OLTP and transfer loading into OLAP. Okay. Data warehouse, big data storaging purpose, we are using data warehouse, Spandana. That is a big data concepts. Okay, na? So big data analysis purpose, big data storage purpose, big data summarizing purpose, big data to generating reporting's purpose, data warehouses are useful. Data warehouses are useful. Why we can't store directly means that communication is not happening, that integration tools are not there from application to AP. So any application first integrated with the TP databases like SQL Server, Oracle, yes or no? Through that you have to send it, but direct communication tools are not there. AP to application to AP, direct communications are not there. Okay, na, Sandeep? Which example tools, Sriram? Example tools means what? Tools, example tools means here, tools is nothing but softwares. Okay, na? Tools means the softwares. Okay. Interviews, whatever I just explained, Spandana, same explanation, you can go and in front of your interview person, if they ask you, definitely have to, okay, spend with them the same, whatever the explanation is done. Suppose this is one .NET application. The .NET application, are you integrated with the, okay, this is one .NET application. This is my .NET application. Maybe it is a IRCTC web application, Flipkart web applications, Amazon's, anyone, one Book My Show application, yes or no? One banking application, one medical healthcare application. So anyone, one application, we are communicating with the TP, data storage is here, later transferring to here. But your very important point is what now? One more thing I want to tell you guys. Here in our if you go to SQL Server interviews, they didn't ask you about this. Okay, na? Because that is not our part. Our part is this one. Okay, na? This is we are learning in our course. This is not our course. Data warehouse is a separate course. Okay, na? This database is it's a second level, that is separated. But this is our course. This is, for example, I'm telling now, simple understand. This is your .NET application. And this is your SQL Server. Okay. Now, this is my work. This is our work. Okay, na? So this is we are learning. Okay. So you people are learning some app, .NET or something. Somebody is learning backend tool. Somebody is learning front-end tool. Okay. So this app may be developed by using Java. Okay. This app developing by using of PHP, any technology. So these are first interacting with the TPs. Okay. Either SQL Server, either Oracle, either MySQL, yes or no. So they will be communicating here. Okay, for example, .NET people are there. .NET people, what they're using SQL Server. How they're going to be integrated their .NET application to OLTP SQL Server means so they're using ADO.NET. They're using what? ADO.NET technologies. So ADO.NET technology through their .NET application, they're going to be connecting to their OLTP is nothing but SQL Server database. Then whatever they perform through this application, that application data they stored here. Okay, this is what? This is next level. That means another course. If you are going to big data concepts, okay, then you can go to data warehouse. Okay, now, right. So this is one more, okay, important for you. That's why if you go to SQL servers means SQL server interviews mean they're asking only TP. Maybe sometime if anybody asks you AP, then you have to tell what is the differences of TP and the AP. Okay, right. Okay, now, yeah. So this is what it was going to take in here. That's why I'm telling a simple point I'm telling. So what I said is in the last session, showroom Godan. Showroom Godan. This is my showroom. Careful observe. This is showroom. This is showroom. This is what I said. This is what I said. Godan. Showroom Godan concept, if you understand, TPA-AP concept is very easy for you. There is no doubt about it. What exactly Godan will use, for what purpose we are using Godans, and what is showroom, if you understand this concept, TPAP is also same like that. Okay, now? Yes. Okay. Sir, how it get extracted, transfer, loading means ETL tools here. At the time of explanation, nobody can focus on this. Informatica tool is there, software. SSIS software is there, integration services. With the help of those softwares, they are integrated to these two databases, TP and AP. Understand now? Then they will extract, transfer, loading. With what? With Informatica, with SSIS, with integration services tools that was available in the market. Okay, na? Right. Or anybody, chat box people? Or anybody, chat box people? Just to practically think. Okay, na? Just to practically think. Then you can understand showroom and Godans. Okay. Oh my God. Some people still, Subbu, that concept I was explained here, you said OLTP filled. It will be transferred to OLAP. If suppose OLTP filled, where app store? App is not storing here. Oh my God. App is not a database. Subbu, app is not a database. Oh, so I think so too much people are there. App is nothing but your login apps here. One Facebook app, one Gmail account app. Oh my God, app will not store. Subbu, app will not store. Understand, na? App is not database. App is not a database, right? This is a what? Facebook app. Creating account. This is storing up. Subbu, through this application, this is what application which was designing by using of any one technology. Understand now? Through this application, whatever you entered, whatever you submitted, The data first it will go to TP. Storage is TP. App is not storing. This is app. How I can store? If app is storing, then why the people are introducing databases, guys? Question also. Ask me some good questions, yeah. Unnecessary questions don't ask me. Okay, now Subbu, understand now? App is different. App, this is app. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, guys. Now I stop it. Okay. Again, lastly, I will give again permissions to you. Okay, now? Right. Okay, right. So now let me go to, again, I will go to interacting lastly, because some people are asking very, what we can say, some without having any reasonable questions are not asking. Here somebody is asking reasonable questions, somebody unreasonable questions are asking. Okay, it's a time wasting. Okay, later I will give it. Okay, later again I will give chance to you. Up to that you can think yourself what is your question, right or wrong. Okay, right, yes. Next one. So this is two types of databases, and the interaction working nature will be having like this. Okay, now, right. And the next one, DBMS models. DBMS models. So here, database management systems are, again, it was going to be, okay, having some models here, some different types of models they will introducing. So what are those? One by one we will discuss. Okay, what are those? One by one we will discuss. So here, database management systems, okay, again we have a three types it will be classified by. Three types it will be enhanced here. That means one by one software it will be enhancing here. And those are we called as like so hierarchical database, first model of DBMS. So I think you listening these points here. Hierarchical, okay, database management systems. So shortcutly HDBMS we called. And the second one is called as a network. Okay, so network DBMS, that is called a NDBMS we called. And the most popular database in real time, that is called a relational database management systems, that is called as a RDBMS. Okay, now, so these are the database softwares. Okay, now they're introducing. Okay, so hierarchical and network and net relation. So first, the IBM companies are introducing hierarchical database management systems. So this software, when the people are using, there are so many drawbacks, okay, disadvantages, okay, they faced here. And later, extension database is called as a database software is called as a networks. But even the networks also have a problems, disadvantages, security problems, SNO retrieval problems, data storage problems. So these kind of problems are they identified here. So to overcome these two database models, database software models, to overcome in this softwares what kind of problems are there, then the people was introducing relational. So present in real time, if you can go in the all over the world, wherever you can go. So wherever you can go. So the point is what now? HDBMS and RDBMS, these are the two models, whatever it was there here, the two models of DBMS here, HDBMS and NDBMS models, whatever it is there. These models are outdated models. Okay, outdated in real time. In real time. Okay, now, so that means there is no company, there is no organization in the industry. The people will not using this hierarchical and networks. Okay, now these are already outdated models we call it. Okay, present there is nobody can use these two models, and these models are not there in the industries all over the world. Okay, but now what it was there, sir, means yes, we have the most important model, relational database management systems. Okay, now this is the very popular model in real time. You can see any projects if you want to develop by using of .NET, by using of Java, by using of some PHP or some extra the tools, whatever the softwares you are there. Maximum projects we are going to be interacting with the relational database management systems. Maximum projects we are developing with the relational database management systems. Okay, now so this is very popular database software in real-time industries. Okay, now so now, but in this relational database management systems, again, there are two types of database softwares are there in the relational DBMS. One is we called as, guys, here, carefully observe. The points very practically think, okay, don't hurry, think what logically what we are going to do. Okay, now, so first one is object relational database management systems. This is called a ORDBMS. And second one is called as, guys, here, the second one is called as a object oriented database management systems. That is called a OODBMS. So again, in the relational DBMS, again, there are two parts are there. That means the two types of submodules are there. So first submodule is called a object relational softwares. Second one is called a object oriented softwares. Okay, but in this two, what we are learning, sir, our SQL Server course, whatever the tool we are learning, this tool comes under which category? Okay, is it object relationals or else is it object oriented? Okay, the first of all, I will give some information about these two cases. Okay, now the first thing, object relational databases. So object relational databases, guys, the first point is what now? In this database softwares, that means when I'm using these softwares, what it will be happen? Data, okay, can be stored in tabular formats, can be stored in table format. It means that collection of rows and columns. The collection of rows and columns model, it will be storing. Okay, so this is object relational softwares. Whatever the data we are storing under object relational softwares, so the data will be stored in the form of a tabular format. Okay, now, and this softwares, okay, object relational database management system softwares is completely depends on SQL language. The point is very important to understand first of all. Okay, now, so this is completely depends on SQL language. Okay, so object relational softwares when I'm using, okay, in that software, if I want to store the data, in that softwares, if I want to do some operations, that can be do it by using of SQL language. So with the help of SQL language, the user can communicating with your object relational database management system through their communicating with their databases. That what it is, you can understand one by one. This is completely and purely depending on SQL language. Okay, now then come to what is object oriented, sir, and here I will give it. In this object relational, so many examples are there. So many example softwares are there. Like we said, SQL Server, Oracle. Okay, so MySQL, like DB2, Sybase, Informix, Ingresys, Teradata, MaxDB, so and so softwares will come to here. Okay, now this is the softwares. These are all softwares called as a relational, object relational database management softwares we call it. And these are softwares when we are using, we must and should have a knowledge of SQL. We must and should have a knowledge of SQL. Okay, now that is what it was. The next one is object oriented here. Object oriented, carefully observe. In this, okay, in this softwares, the data cannot store in the tabular format. The data can be stored, okay, in objects, can be stored in objects. Okay, so that is what, that's why it is called an object oriented, we call it. Okay, the data will be stored into objects, not in tabular. Okay, and next one is this database softwares is completely depends on, okay, OOPS concept, guys. I think all of you know OOPS concept. So who are working in the front end side, that means who are learning .NET, Java, Python, yes or no, who are learning, those people knows that OOPS concept. Okay, object oriented, okay, programming languages, yes or no. So your C# .NET is a OOPS supported na, Java is supported, yes or no, Python also supported. So it's a depending on OOPS. In OOPS, can you tell me, guys, anybody, what kind of the OOPS futures? What is the use of OOPS? What we can say, the OOPS futures, what we called in the front end side. What are the OOPS here? What kind of futures? One is class, object, abstraction, polymorphism, okay, encapsulation, inheritance. Yes or no? These are the some futures now. I'm asking who are knows little bit, okay, .NET, Java student, they knows that, but non-background students, maybe they don't know. Okay, I can understand. I'm asking who are already learning .NET courses, Python, okay, Java. In OOPS, what it was comes? Class, objects, class, object, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and what next? Encapsulations. So these are called as a OOPS futures, we call it, and you people are learning. Okay, now. So here, object-oriented database softwares, when I'm going to use, in this, the people will interacting with the OOPS language. That means OOPS concepts, OOPS futures will be implemented. That's why here I said data can be stored in the format of objects. So class, under class, what we created? Object. Object, whenever you created an object, it was allocating some memory for object. Okay, in that memories, data, how it will be managed. Okay, now it's completely depends on OOPS concept. Depends on OOPS concept. Next, these database softwares, even though we called as a, so I think you all of you listen this one, called as a, can you remember? Anybody listen? No SQL. Anybody listen? No SQL language. Anybody listen? Come on, guys, come on. Nowadays we have a no SQL databases also. I think somebody listen this one. No SQL. Okay, no SQL. So no SQL, that means here SQL language will not use it here. SQL language, that means here I said object relational complete depends on relational, that means SQL language. Okay, but object oriented will not touch SQL. It is completely implementation is happening OOPS concept. Okay, now OOPS concept it was happening, but no SQL language. That means who are going to object oriented side, those people no need SQL language. So what they required, OOPS language or OOPS concept is required. Okay, now so this is what object oriented. In this we will see some examples. Some nowadays I think you listen one of the software you listen, guys, here. MongoDB. Can you listen, anybody? MongoDB. Come on, guys. Can you listen? Anybody? MongoDB? Yeah. So many people are listening this one. MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB. And one more is there like some other software like Cassandra. Maybe this is somebody is not listening. Maybe when you go to industry, so those people knows that Cassandra. So these kind of softwares this comes under object oriented. Okay, now MongoDB, Cassandra. Okay, so these kind of softwares are comes into object oriented. So this is, that means in relational database management systems are, again, it will be having two types of softwares here. One is object relational software, that is called a relational database management system software. One is object oriented database management system softwares. So these are the two types of okay, softwares are there under this category of model. Okay, right. But here clearly picture, it's a clear picture to you guys here. So we are learning what? SQL Server. We are learning what? SQL Server. That means we are learning what? Object relational database management systems. It means that what we need, SQL language is needed. SQL language is needed. And how our data will be organizing in the format of table. In the format of table. Okay, now? So, but object oriented is not our course. It's a very clear, because I'm giving clarity to you. This is not our course. Our course is SQL dependency, not NoSQL. Our course is not a MongoDB, not a Cassandra. Our course is SQL Server. This is we are learning. This is we are learning, and this is our part, not this one. So I'm giving clarity for you. I'm giving clarity for you. This is not ours. Our course is relational database management systems. This is our course, guys. Okay. But why I'm telling this information to you guys means it's a simple minimum knowledge. It's just the idea. Okay, what is nowadays so many people listening SQL, NoSQL, SQL, NoSQL. So many people confusing. Sir, SQL, NoSQL, somebody telling us what is the difference, sir? This is the difference. This is the difference. SQL means relational database. NoSQL means oriented database. Okay, now? So there is no SQL language. They're using OOPS, class created, creating classes, creating object to the classes. In those classes, they're implementing abstractions methods. They're implementing inheritance mechanisms. They implemented encapsulations. Okay, this kind of things they are going to be writing a programs by using of OOPS. They're writing a programs and they're going to be managing their data. Okay, so that is a different. That's why NoSQL. Our database is what now? SQL. Our database is a SQL, not a NoSQL. Okay, now. So this is what we can say, guys. Here. Okay, right. So these are the things, and we started. Our first one is what now? Object relational databases. We will start it here. Okay. So now in this one of the software tool we are learning. The tool is called as a SQL Server. Okay. The tool is called as a SQL Server we are learning. And now we will see what is SQL Server. SQL Server purpose is what now? Okay, SQL Server, how to install here. Okay, the software, how to install, what kind of versions. Okay, so internal client server architectures. Okay, what is our tool IDE in SQL Server, which IDE we are using. Okay, so these are all kind of things we will be learning in this part. Okay, now, and this SQL Server, my first class. That means I said to you in the demo classes only, I given some information to you guys here. What is the information I was given in the schedule part? Yeah, so first DBMS. What is the basic information of DBMS? What is data? What is information? What is databases? What is data storages? What is flat file? What is DBMS models? Database types? These are all comes under DBMS category. And the second category is called as a SQL Server. SQL Server is what now? Software. And this software we will discuss tomorrow. That means your main class. That means from tomorrow onwards, your SQL, we are entering into SQL Server classes. Okay, the DBMS, whatever we discuss as of now, this is before SQL Server. That means why I'm giving this information. Now you get some clarity. You are getting some clarity. SQL Server is an object relational and it's depending on SQL language. So now we have a clarity. And this is comes under OLTP category, not OLAP category. Yes or no? So when you are learning your databases, this clarity is very important. So if you have this clarity, then you can understand, okay, what I'm learning, what is my course. In this course, what I'm going to do, what kind of operations I can do. So that is very important to get it. Okay, now, so that is the reason this much explanation I was given to you. Okay, and so many people, they're not giving this explanation. You know that? So many people, they're not giving this explanation. They directly started relational database. And relational database started, they started SQL Server. But you have to know what is SQL, what is NoSQL. Okay, in NoSQL, how the data can be stored, and in SQL, how the data can be stored. What are the examples of SQL? What is the examples of NoSQLs? So this is minimum idea, guys. So this will be somewhat better to you to easily moving the database courses. And you will also having some clarity on your course, what we are learning. Okay, now that clarity also you will be getting. For that purpose only, this much explanation I was given. Otherwise, simple what they will do, these are too outdated. They directly started, but they didn't give this explanation to you. Okay, they directly started SQL Server. But why I'm giving this explanation means you should know what is what exactly. Okay, na? That means you understand now. MongoDB is a different. SQL Server is a different. MongoDB is different. Oracle is different. MongoDB is different. MySQL is different. Okay, na? So these are the softwares, different softwares. Okay, right, guys. So then tomorrow we will go for the main tool, our SQL Server. So that we started into tomorrow. So what is SQL Server? So whatever I said, SQL Server use and installation process. And after that, the versions, after that, the client server architecture, internal processing of SQL Server, how the data can be processing here. Okay, this is all we will discuss in the part of SQL. And after SQL Server, the minimum, that means what is what, when you know the clarity on SQL Server, then we will go to the next very important, that means our language. What is our language? SQL. So so many people, again, they're asking SQL Server and SQL, both are not a same. Now understand now, SQL Server, SQL, both are not the same. SQL Server, what I said here, I was given small hint for you in the introduction classes. It is a software and SQL is a language. Okay, now, and the TSQL is called as a advanced SQL language. This is advanced SQL language. Are you clear my point? Right. Okay, guys. So I hope that now little bit, I'm not expecting more knowledge, but little bit understanding is going to be happen the today's session, whatever we discuss. Okay, now by taking off today's sessions, now minimum what is what you get it. I hope, I believe that you little bit understanding was happening. Okay, right, guys. So thank you so much, guys. And tomorrow we will start our SQL Server main classes. We enter into that. Okay, right, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, as usual, if any doubts are there, stay here. No doubts, you can log out. Okay, right. Yes. Okay, guys, first I will give it chat box. Okay, so guys, anybody have a doubt, you can send your chat box through. So table means tabular format here. Okay, objects means when you have a good idea on OOPS concept, you can understand object. Class creation, object creation. Okay, now in that object creation, memory storage, memory allocations, memory storages. That is what object. Okay, so table is also one of the object in our relational database. But ODB, that is a different object-oriented programs. Okay, you have a, suppose you are a .NET Java student now, then you can understand what is a class object. Okay, right. Why we are using relational, Jamil, means your data can be stored in the tabular format, and each and every table to table we have a relational server, like a what we can say primary key, foreign key relational. That is called I said interrelated data. Okay, Jamil, interrelated data. I said interrelated means what I said, guys, here dependency to each other. I depends on you, you depends on me. That is called a interrelational data. That interrelational data, when we store into RDBMS, that is called a relational databases. Okay, now. PLSQL is a different, Priya. PLSQL comes under Oracle, not SQL Server. Okay, PLSQL comes under Oracle. That is Oracle database. See, I said now this is Oracle. In this, it will come PLSQL. Okay, that's the different. Next. Definitely, ETL tools are, that's I'm telling now, SSIS is also one of the ETL tool with integrations of SQL Server to any data warehouses, like Informatica tools are using. So Informatica tools are using, yes or no? So that is one thing. These are all our ETL tools means that I said in a diagram, communication. That means that TP to AP data transformation purpose, those are using. That is very popular here. That is called as na Power BI, MSBI, yes or no? So in Power BI, MSBI, IS tool is there, integration tool. With the help of that tool only, we are moving our data. Okay, na? That courses I already, so many times I spoke with you.